Hey, I am Mustafa Sharif. Thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica podcast. Today's episode gonna be super interesting, super cool. We're gonna talk about TEDx and we're gonna talk about TEDxMalmö and how is it to organize a big TEDx event. I have the pleasure to welcome Saga to Urbanistica podcast. Hey and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for giving your time to the podcast.
Of course. Of,
How are you?
Actually, really good. The weather is quite nice here in Sweden, and well, I wouldn't know because I'm sitting inside, but still very, very, very nice day today.
Nice. And you're happy. How is it going with the work? Did it affect from the COVID-19?
Yeah, well, to some extent, we are doing everything digitally, with minor exceptions. I'm actually sitting in an office right now, just because it's much easier for me here to get it together. But I'm COVID-19 safe, so I'm isolated in my own office.
Cool, cool. Well, Saga, how would you like to introduce yourself? You're our storyteller.
Hmm? Oh. Well, perhaps not as a storyteller, but let me just get that out of the way first. I'm Saga. I'm doing TEDxMalmö, which is like a franchise for TED. You could see it like that. So I'm organizing a big TED event, and my position is not so important because I do everything and nothing at the same time. I'm the most professional jumper you've seen, because I'm both on the speakers, sponsors, and the organization simultaneously.
Wow, so you're all in everything.
Yeah.
So and how did you end up in TEDx Malmö? Tell us more about your background. What do you do in daily life? What are you working with?
I do things at the site in order to pay my pay for myself, but I am actually mostly focused on TED, which is a structure that I can live with and can kind of find myself in because I am living with my mom. So I don't have super much to pay there. And that means that I can put my time in non-profit things, such as that.
Yes, yes. And what are you passionate about, Saga?
Certainly not living at home, but it's a different answer each week, and it's not that I'm passionate about. I'm not sure what I'm passionate about. It's more that I'm passionate about lots of things. In this case, right now with TED, we are doing the conference on the theme "The Future is Now," which means that we will discover and talk about topics such as what we would like to see in the future in some ways. So it could be climate change, it could be
Smart cities?
smart cities. Yeah. Or innovation technology in any way, um, in order for us to better prepare for the future.
Yeah.
And there already we have circled in some of my biggest passions. I'm very interested in innovation and in societal problems. I'm very fond at parties, I promise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Saga, how would you like to tell us more about TEDx Stockholm? The story, when did it start? How big is the team?
Yeah, so TEDxMalmö is, let's see, about 9 months. Yeah, 9 months. It's like a pregnancy. 9 months old right now. And we've planned to originally have the event in May, on the 16th of May, which is actually this Saturday. But we, along the way, we changed venue, we changed direction. So we shifted it to September, and then COVID-19 happened. And now it's in December. So it's been around for 9 months, but we are yet to produce the event.
Did you have the same theme, like about the future, or
Yeah.
you change it as well?
No, that's such an exciting theme, so we kept it.
And how many people are you in the team?
Right now, 13, but we are expanding currently. So
Nice.
there will be more. We're counting on a team of maybe 70, and then maybe 120 on a day.
Yes.
So
And
we
and
grow.
what are the different, let's say, sub-teams or positions within the TEDx Stockholm? You mentioned speakers, sponsors.
Yeah, so we have the two, and also communication team, which is forming right now. But on the event day, we will also have an event production team, and then we have a information manager who is kind of in between teams. So she doesn't really have a team, but she is still a really vital component to the whole organization.
Yes. And so the idea now that the event's going to be in December and it will be in the big football arena, right?
It's a hockey arena, actually.
Hockey arena, sorry.
Yes.
So tell me, how did you, why?
Why a hockey arena? Oh, I'll tell you about that. It's actually a very good reason behind it, or several reasons. One of which is that it's a giant arena. It's a very, 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 very big arena, and you can do amazing things with it because of the space. Meaning that we can fit 15,000 people in there, which I know is scary right now because people are scared of pictures of big crowds. But
Yeah.
on the event day, hopefully that's just a memory and not the reality right now. But what is so exciting about Malmö Arena is the size and logistical possibilities, as well as the event production possibilities it has.
Yeah. Yeah.
A hockey match is so different from any other game, because a hockey match is much more like a show. They use the lights and they use much more, I wouldn't say storytelling, but they are still trying to perform a show before you, which means that Malmö Arena, if you repurpose a hockey arena into an event arena, you have all the structures in place which you
Yeah.
want to have for an event like this.
Mm.
So it's an obvious choice for us. It's the best event production venue around.
Yeah. But Saga, why you didn't went to a normal venue like a conference room? You know, like for instance, here in Stockholm, TEDx Stockholm, we like go for a conference room. We don't go like for arena. So what made you shift from a normal conference room to an hockey arena? Why?
Yeah, so several things. The location, of course, that's unique, so it's not really tied to a hockey arena on its own. The size, 15,000. We haven't seen conference rooms that big here. And also, this is quite a different reason than you could expect, but a hockey arena, or especially that hockey arena, has hawsers in the ceiling, and hawsers are called. I think it's called tross in Swedish for those who understand Swedish. But that's essentially the things that you can put your spotlights on. So you can actually hang up stuff, and they can carry a lot of weight. So you can produce an event with basically anything with this ceiling that the hockey arena has. That ceiling is not necessarily something another arena or a conference room has. They don't have the hawsers.
Yeah.
And Malmö Arena also has a jumbotron, I think that's what it's called in English, or a mediacube in Swedish, which is the big screens in the middle of the arena, the four.
Yeah.
And that's like an event producer's dream, to have very generous, big, nice screens already in place. It's a cost reducing factor, and it's gorgeous for production. So in so many ways, that venue is so right for what we want to do there.
Yes. And where do you think that the speakers or the stage gonna be?
In the middle of
In
the
the
arena.
middle.
Yes.
And to whom is the speaker turning?
Well, hopefully to everybody. So the current, I can't give out so many details yet, but we have currently like a round stage, and then we have a rotating piece in the middle of the stage.
Wow.
So we can either rotate the speaker, we can shift the two and rotate the speaker, or we can make the speaker walk around on the round stage.
Yeah. Super cool. It's gonna be interesting. And tell me, is it the same? I mean, organizing a big event in a big venue, is it the same as you organize in a small venue? Which one is less job or less energy?
Well, the obvious answer to that is the big venue is the hardest, but not if you compare a couple of thousand people event to a 15,000 people event. There's a certain threshold where it gets easier to add another 1,000 people without it being much more work. So a 100 people event is of course easier, but if you go over 2,000 maybe, then it's not that same difference in the difficulty.
So, and what's gonna be the biggest challenge now? What do you think?
Ticket sales in the light of COVID-19. I would say speakers, if you would ask me this before COVID-19, but now sadly the hardest thing is that we have to fight against a mentality that amongst people a mentality that doesn't really allow people to be willing to spend right now because of uncertain times and so on.
Yeah.
It's hard to commit to an event right now.
So are you still going for it? I mean, do you think you're switching to a hybrid event that you do both, like people can be physically there but also can join digitally? What do you think about this?
We have not any plans to do it digitally. And this means that in case COVID-19 is still a big issue in December, we will have to push it a couple of months.
Yeah.
But this is a choice, this is a conscious choice by the team, because TED and TEDx, in the way we do it, is not a good experience digitally compared to what we have planned or what we have in mind. You can see this as much more of a crossover between a conference, really cool conference, really cool inspirational conference, and a festival. So we plan on using the foyer and outside area of Malmö Arena and the whole city of Malmö in a much more inclusive way, where we can activate so many more parts of the city. So it's not only what happens on stage that it's the relevant thing, but it's also tasting the food outside, or the future's food, as well as talking to the people that will be there, trying on the activities, I don't know, whatever we will have in store at that time. I think will be focused on the guest experience. That's the fundamental thing for us.
So you're more aiming that to create an experience and to create a livable experience, right? Not a digital one, but more that people there physically experience and be part of a social atmosphere.
Social atmosphere, absolutely, and engage all the senses in this. And we know from TEDx Lund University, which was an event I did before, that we will have a group of doers and people who are ready to network, who are ready to start projects, who are ready to do something cool, make it worth their time. They're not just there to, to see one person. No, they're there because they believe in the commonality in the TEDx community, which is this ideas for spreading, doing this, finding new ways of thinking about stuff and acting upon it, which we highly encourage.
Yes. And do you see the diversity in the TEDx people community, or they are only people who is interested in tech, let's say?
No, there's a giant diversity. I've seen there's a huge movement for lifting up women, and a very, I would say, very beautiful passion towards science, and in a sense that the TEDx community is very, very, very keen on finding good science and good science only, which puts pressure on us as organizers, because we find the absolute best, most reliable content that we can out there, and that's what we put on stage.
Yes, of course. And Saga, you mentioned the TEDxMalmö is 9 months. And did you manage to get partners? I believe it's difficult, right?
Actually, we have lots of work. We have lots of contacts, lots of leads, but currently the only signed sponsor is called RVE Renewables. They do green energy. It's a green energy company, and that's currently speaking, the only partner that we have signed with. But of course, lots of people are in the pipeline, and we are, of course, always looking for event partnerships with everybody, essentially.
So there are no criteria who can be partner to TEDx Stockholm. Sorry, to TEDx Malmö.
No, I wouldn't say there are criteria. Just, of course, it can't be an industry that some would deem to be unethical, which is, for instance, tobacco industry, and that's a TED rule.
Yeah.
We adhere to, and then we have also some sort of a mutual understanding that we are supporting companies that, for instance, do renewable energy, or have good food solutions, or like plant-based meals, or companies that think about the future in a sustainable way.
Yeah.
That's a priority. I wouldn't say it's a criteria, but it's a priority.
Yes, that's very great approach. So many people are interested to know how is it going. I mean, from people being nominating themselves to be standing on the stage, how would you like to describe the process or the journey? I'm also interested to know how are you guys doing it in Malmö.
Yeah, so we do it in Malmö in a different way, but generally people can submit to any TEDx event. So whenever there's an X, it's an independently organized event, and you can usually write to them and see if what you would like to speak about is relevant for what they are doing. we do not have this open nomination process because we have a team of people who are nominating instead of finding our leads.
Getting nominations.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the decision we made to be able to first and foremost be sure that we can get the amount of the numbers that we're looking for in terms of the audience. 15,000 people is, you don't find them everywhere. And it's a good region here, but Malmö is not the biggest city, but we still have Copenhagen and around, so I think it will work, but you need some sort of incentive, which are more well-known speakers, and that's what we're focusing on. But usually there's a nomination process. So usually you submit or you get nominated by, for example, one of us. And we have ways of finding people, so we will find you. And then you submit to us, at least you submit a draft. We check the draft. It's very important for us that it fulfills content guidelines, such as, for example, only good science. And we start a coaching process after that. So we have speaking coaches and editors who help the speaker up until the day of the event. And then we edit the video. We do that. We upload it to the TEDx YouTube channel, which has 24 million subscribers right now. So it's a giant YouTube channel. And then we let it free to to decide. Some videos make it to TED.com. Not all do, but some. And those are the exemplary videos with promising content and often lots of views also.
Yeah. How much is the ticket for a TEDxMalmö event?
Around 2,000 kronor, but that's a choice we've made looking at other business conferences. And so we have under 40% of the price for a business conference, but you can still select to not have food included, which is then a cheaper ticket. But with everything, then it's 2,000.
Okay, and it's a one day, right? A one-day event.
Yes.
Yeah. So who is your favorite speaker or favorite TEDx talk?
I like Greta Thunberg's talk, really.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that one.
Do you know that in that talk I was standing behind her on the stage?
Really?
Yes, she made it in TEDx Stockholm. So it was one of the greatest talk I was in the backstage and hearing.
Okay, just so for everybody's notice, Mustafa didn't pay me to say this. It's a genuine reaction.
That's amazing. Well, Saga, it's really inspiring to talk to you, especially I'm working with urban planning, and thus was very interesting that you wanted to organize a TEDx event in a hockey arena, which means that we can be open-minded and flexible in using organizing different events in different, let's say, places. So if I ask you, you talked a bit about the future. If I ask you, what is a smart city for you?
In a sense that of course you have connected devices and all of that, and all the buzz with Internet of Things. But I guess for me, a smart city is a repurposed city. So this is, I guess, a unique perspective, but bear in mind that my brother and his girlfriend are both city planners, and we talk about this a lot. And they've influenced my perspective, at least his girlfriend influenced my perspective on what smart cities or what sustainable cities could be. Like, why do we have so many parking lots in the cities, for instance? And I repurposed cities are for me the cities that use their parking spaces when they're idle to have a park there. This is actually a real life example of somebody who built a park like with trees and everything on wheels, and they parked it in a
Wow.
parking space. Parked in a parking space.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a really cool idea. Those kind of solutions, and I think it ties in well to repurposing these giant both football and hockey arenas.
Yes, yes. Very interesting. So, what is the biggest challenge now, actually, for TEDx Malmö? You mentioned a bit about selling tickets and so on.
Yeah,
What?
selling tickets definitely, and finding the best teammates that the world has to offer. And this is because we have so much respect for that this is a voluntary event and nobody gets paid, and hence nobody should put in so much time in it so that it can't compromise with people's health or people's full-time jobs. So finding talent and ambitious people with that as a starting point is very challenging because the ambitious overachievers are always busy with
Yeah.
something else. So new teammates, ticket sales, and partnerships, absolutely. In COVID, in times like COVID right now, that would be very appreciated also.
Yes, yes. Well, I wish you all the good luck with passing these challenges, and I really believe in TEDx Malmö team.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope
And
you're
but
coming to the conference.
yes, I would love to. I think I will because this is something really interesting to experience, and I would love to be also to say hello and shake hands with all TEDx Malmö team and send the greetings from TEDx Stockholm.
Yes, we will be super happy to have you, and maybe you can get Greta to come with you. Okay.
No, she's only for TEDx Stockholm.
No.
Just kidding. Well, Saga, it was so cool to talk to you. Thank you so much again. And now, how would you like to summarize what we're talking about and some of your reflections and three takeaway messages?
Three takeaway messages. Okay, so the first one is definitely think smart about what you have, what you've been dealt with, and such a cliche now in COVID-19, but nothing here has stopped because we have COVID-19 right now. We are planning for the future, and there's always an alternative solution to how you can solve your problem. If somebody is not willing to work with you or sign up with you or do something like that, you can find a way of making it secure for them to do it anyway. But this is just a challenge. This is not the end of the world. So I guess that's the second thing. This is not the end of the world. And the third thing is that TEDxMalmö is a very cool conference. So please come.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for the powerful and cool messages. And now I would love to get three hashtags from you.
Oh, can I give one big hashtag instead?
Uh, yes, of course.
TEDxMalmö.
Malmö.
That's the only thing we need. Yeah.
Great, great. Saga, thank you so much again. I was really happy to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for this.
And hopefully see you in the event, basically.
Yes. Yes, I hope so. Okay.
Yes. Take care. And thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica podcast. If you have any cool story that makes our city smarter, please contact me. Follow on Instagram and subscribe YouTube channel. I am Mustafa Sharif.